Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Hope everyone is having a fantastic day. So in today's lesson, I'm going to talk about the navigation controller, okay? But first things first, what exactly is a navigation controller? Like table views, navigation controllers are another common UI components in iOS apps. It provides a drill-down interface for hierarchical content, okay? Take a look at the built-in photo app, YouTube, and contacts. They all use navigation controllers to display hierarchical content, okay? Generally, you combine a navigation controller with a stack of table view controllers to build an elegant interface for your apps, okay? Being that said, that doesn't mean you have to use both together, okay? Navigation controllers can work with any types of view controllers, right? Okay, up till now, we just lay out a table view controller in the storyboard of the Cafegram app. Storyboarding allows you to do more than that. Indeed, you can add more view controllers, link them up, and also define the transitions between them. And all this can be done without a line of code. Cool, right? Also, when working with storyboards, scene and segue are two of the terms you need to know, okay? Indeed, in a storyboard, a scene refers to the on-screen content, whereas a segue sits between two scenes and represents the transition between one screen to another, okay? We'll continue to work on the Cafegram app by embedding the table view controller into a navigation controller. When a user selects any of the cafes, the app navigates to the next screen and to display the cafe details, okay? So if you're ready now and if you're excited, let's get started. Okay, select main.storyboard to switch to the interface builder editor. Xcode provides an embed feature that makes it easy to embed any view controller in a navigation controller. Select the table view controller and click Editor. In the menu, choose Embed In and then Navigation Controller, okay? Cool. Xcode automatically embeds the controller in a navigation controller. Let's set the title of the navigation bar. Select the navigation bar of the table view controller here, okay? Rather here, okay? And then we're going to name it Cafegram. Cool. Now run the app and see how it looks. The app is the same as before, but added a navigation bar, okay? Here, okay? Cool. If you have upgraded your device to iOS 11, you probably noticed that the stock apps such as Mail and Settings use large titles in the navigation bar. But when you scroll the content, the navigation bar shrinks back down its size to that appears in iOS 10. By default, large title is not enabled in Xcode 9. If you want to use large title in the navigation bar, you have two ways to do that. So the first one is you choose the navigation bar and here you just tick this option, okay? And as you can see, the size has changed. So we can run our app again. And as you can see, the title is larger than before, okay? Otherwise, the other way to do that is to write a line of code in the Viewdidload method of Cafe Table View Controller class. So first of all, unclick this option, okay? Then go to the Cafe Table View Controller class, okay? And here in the Viewdidload method, here, we are going to write a line of code. Okay, navigation controller dot navigation bar dot prefers large titles equal to true. Also, you can remove those line of code, we don't need them, and just press Command R to relaunch the simulator. Okay, cool. And as you can see, we have again our large title. Okay, with just a few clicks and a line of code, you've added a navigation bar to your app with large titles. What's missing is another view controller that displays the cafe details. When a user selects a cafe, the app transits to the detail view controller and displays the cafe details. Okay, this is what we're going to do right now. In Interface Builder, okay, drag a view controller from the object library, okay, like this, to create the detail view controller. Okay, the primary purpose of this video is to show you how to implement navigation controller. We'll keep the detail view as simple as possible. Okay, let's just display the cafe photo in the detail view. Drag an image view from object library to the view controller like this. Resize it to fit the view. Okay, and add spacing constraints for each side of the image view to ensure the image is scaled properly. Okay, go to the attributes inspector and change the mode from scale to fill to aspect to fill. Okay, cool. Now you have two view controllers configured in the storyboard. The question is, how can we connect them together? In storyboards, we need to connect them through a segue view. Okay, in music, a segue view is a seamless transition between one piece of music and another. In storyboards, the transition between two scenes is called segue view. Okay, the table view controller will transit to the detail cell when a user taps a cell. Okay, so we will add a segue view to connect the prototype cell and the detail scene. It's very straightforward to add a segue view object. Press and hold the control key, then click on the prototype cell and drag to the detail view controller. Okay, so here the prototype cell. Okay, sometimes it's pretty difficult to select the prototype cell in the table view controller, so I suggest you open the document outline view and drag from the prototype cell to the view controller. When you release the buttons, a pop-up menu appears for you to choose the style for the segue view. Select Show for the style and you'll see a connector here between the view controllers. Okay, once chosen, Xcode automatically connects the prototype cell and the detail view controller with the show segue view. Okay, before going further, in iOS it supports the following types of segue view. So you have, as you can see here, show. When the show style is used, the content is pushed on top of the current view controller stack. A back button will be displayed in the navigation bar for navigating back to the original view controller. Okay, typically we use the segue view type for navigation controllers. Otherwise, you have Show detail, similar to the show style, but the content in the detail view controller replaces the top of the current view controller stack. For example, if you select show detail instead of show in the CafeGram app, there will be no navigation bar and back button in the detail view, okay? Otherwise, you have the present modally presents the content modally. When used, the detail view controller will be animated up from the bottom and cover the entire screen on iPhone. A good example of present modally segue is the add feature of the built-in calendar app. When you click the plus button in the app, it brings up a new event screen from the bottom, okay? And finally, present as popover. Present the content as a popover anchored to an existing view. Popover is commonly found in iPad apps, okay? Now you're ready to run the app. Once launched, select a cafe and the app should navigate to the detail view controller, okay? So I'm going to run my simulator. But meanwhile, the detail view controller just shows a blank screen, okay? The good news is that you already created a navigation interface. So without writing a single line of code, you've added a navigation controller in your app. Okay, but before moving on to the next section, let's make a little tweak. When you run the app and select a cell, as you can see, it now navigates to the blank screen and shows an action sheet that we have implemented in the previous video, okay? We no longer need that action sheet, okay? Later we'll add the same function in the detail view controller. Therefore, remove the did select row add method from cafe table view controller.swift. Okay, here you can also find your method here. They are listed. So for example, we need to find the did select row add method, so I just have to choose it here and it shows me directly where is the method. Okay, so you have two ways to remove this method. Either you want to keep it in your project, so you just have to select all the methods and just press Command Shift and slash, okay, like this, and your code will be in comment, so it won't be taken into account when launching the simulator, okay? Otherwise, if you want to keep your project clean, like me, you can just select all the method and press delete, okay? Okay, let's go back to the view detail view controller here. Our goal is to update the image view in the view controller with the selected cafe. The view controller is now associated with the UI view controller class by default. As explained before, the UI view controller class only provides the fundamental view management model. There is no variable for storing the cafe image, okay? Obviously, we have to extend UI view controller to create our own class so that we can add a new variable for the image view, okay? So here in the left pane in the project navigator, right click the CafeGram folder and select new file, okay? Here choose Cocoa Touch class as the class template, name the class Cafe Detail View Controller, okay? And if needed, set the subclass of UI View Controller here, okay? Click Next and save the file in your project folder, like this. Cool. First, we have to establish a relationship between the view controller here in interface builder and the new class. So go back to the main.storyboard and assign the cafe detail view controller class to the detail view controller. Okay, so here, okay, select the view controller and open the identity inspector. Change the custom class to cafe detail view controller. Okay, there are a couple of things we have to add in the custom class. Create a variable named cafe image name. When a user selects a cafe in the table view controller, there must be a way to pass the image name to the detail view. Okay, this variable will be used for data passing. Also create an outlet called cafe image view. For the image view, we need a reference to update the image view of the detail view controller. So we have to create an outlet. Okay, now open the cafe detail view controller.swift and add the following code to the cafe detail view controller class. First one, we're going to create the outlet that we will need, like this. Cafe image view, UI image view, UI image view and not UI image, because in the interface builder we have chosen UI image view. Okay, cool. And always put an exclamation mark like this, because it means it's compulsory. It's compulsory to have an image view, okay, in the detail view controller. And then we have to create our variable cafe image name like this, and at the beginning there is no value for this variable, so just put quote mark. Okay, next, establish a connection between the cafe image view variable and the image view of the detail view controller. So go back to main.storyboard, right click the cafe detail view controller object here. Okay, in the document outline, in the pop over menu, connect the cafe image view outlet here with the image view of the controller. Now that we have linked up the outlet variable with the image view object in the storyboard, but there is still one thing left. We haven't provided the image yet. The image view should display the selected cafe image in the Viewdidload method of the cafe detail view controller here. Class, add a line of code. So cafe image view dot image is equal to UI image. Okay, and the name will be what is in the variable at this time. Okay, like this. Cool. So the Viewdidload method is called when the view is loaded into memory. You can provide additional customization of the view in this method. In the above, we simply set the image view's image to the selected cafe image. Okay, we can try to compile and run. Okay, the detail view is still blank after selecting a cafe. We still miss one thing. We haven't passed the image name of the selected cafe from the table view controller here to the detail view controller. This is why the cafe image name variable is not assigned with any value. And now this comes to the core part of this lesson about data passing with segues. A segue manages the transition between view controllers, okay, and contains the view controllers involved in the transition. When a segue is triggered before the visual transition occurs, the storyboard runtime notifies the source view controller by calling the prepare for sender method. Okay, you can find it here at the bottom of the file. So just uncomment it like this, and as you can see, the prepare method appears. Okay, also you can delete these two lines, and now we are going to write our code. Okay, the default implementation of the prepare method does nothing. By overriding the method, you can pass any relevant data to the new controller, which is Cafe Detail View controller in our project. Okay, segues can be triggered by multiple sources. As your storyboard becomes more complex, it's very likely that you'll have more than one segue between view controllers. Therefore, the best practice is to give each segue a unique identifier. This identifier is a string to distinguish one segue from another. Okay? To assign an identifier for a seg view, select the seg view in the storyboard editor. Okay? Here, and then go to the attributes inspector. Set the value of the identifier to show cafe detail. Okay, show cafe detail, and just press enter. Cool. With the seg view configured, insert the following line code in the cafe table view controller class here. To override the default implement of the prepare method. Okay, so first of all, let me write the code and then I will explain to you. Okay, so if segue dot identifier is equal to show cafe detail like this, then also if let index path equal table view dot index path for selected row, then let destination controller to be equal to segue dot destination. Okay, as cafe detail view controller. Okay, and then destination controller dot cafe image name. This is the variable that we have created in our cafe detail view controller here. Okay, is equal to cafe images bracket index path dot row. Okay, here, this array. Okay, cool. So the first line of code here is used to check the segues identifier. The block of code is only executed for the show cafe detail segue. Okay, in the code block, we first retrieve the selected row by accessing tableview.indexPath for selected row. The index path object should contain the selected cell, as you know. Okay, a segue object contains both the source and destination view controllers involved in the transition. Okay, we use segue.destination here to retrieve the destination controller. In this case, the destination controller is the cafe detail view controller object. This is why we have to downcast it by using the as exclamation mark operator. Lastly, we pass the image name of the selected cafe to the destination controller. Okay, now it's ready to test the app. Okay, hit the run button to compile and run the app. This time our app should work as expected. Select a cafe in the table view. The detail view should display the image of the selected item, and that is the case, okay? You probably noticed that the detail view controller inherits the large navigation bar title, okay? Other than the home screen of the app, you may not want to use large titles to catch user attention, okay? So Apple provides developers an option to disable large titles in a particular view controller. For instance, if we want to disable large titles in the detail view controller here, we can insert the following line of code in the Viewdidload method of Cafe Detail View Controller. So here, Cafe Detail View Controller, I'm just going to write this line of code. So navigation item dot large title display mode is equal to never, okay? Otherwise, you have multiple choices, always, automatic, and never, okay? The code above changes the large title display mode of the navigation item to never, indicating that it doesn't want to have the large title. The display mode can also be always or automatic, as I said before. As the name suggests, always means large title should always be used, okay? If automatic is set, it inherits the large title mode in the previous view controller, okay? So I'm going to run the app again and see if it works. Okay, for example, if I choose La Perla Café, as you can see, our navigation bar is not large anymore, okay? Okay, in this lesson, I've walked you through the basics of navigation controllers and segues. Okay, what we have built is very simple. We only pass a cafe image from one view controller to another one, but by now you should know how to handle data passing between view controllers through segues. Okay, so that's all for today, guys. Don't forget to subscribe for my upcoming videos and give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed the lesson, and I see you later, guys. Bye bye.